Giovanni Boldini, born on December 31, 1842, in Ferrara, Italy, was one of the most prominent portrait painters of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His dynamic and flamboyant style captured the energy and elegance of the Belle Époque, an era defined by cultural and artistic flourishing in Europe. Boldini's ability to convey not just the physical likeness, but also the personality and essence of his subjects, combined with his virtuosic technique, made him a sought-after portraitist by the elite of his time. His career spanned multiple countries, including Italy, France, and England, with his most prolific and impactful years spent in Paris, the cultural capital of the era. Growing up in an artistic household, Boldini was exposed to art from a young age. His father, Antonio Boldini, was a painter specializing in religious and historical themes, and he served as Giovanni's first teacher. This early immersion in the world of art set the foundation for what would become a lifelong passion. From an early age, Boldini exhibited an exceptional talent for drawing and painting, which was nurtured by his family. He left his native Ferrara in 1862 to study in Florence, where he attended the Accademia di Belle Arti. While in Florence, he became part of the Macchiaioli movement, a group of Italian artists who sought to move away from traditional academic art and focused on plein-air painting. The Macchiaioli were an important precursor to the French impressionists, emphasizing bold contrasts and a more direct, spontaneous handling of paint. While Boldini was influenced by their techniques, especially their interest in capturing light and atmosphere, he did not fully embrace their more rustic subjects, preferring instead to work within the realms of portraiture and high society. The move to Florence marked a turning point in Boldini's artistic development. The city was a vibrant center of artistic and intellectual activity, and Boldini was exposed to a range of influences that would shape his unique style. He was particularly inspired by the works of the great Italian masters, as well as by contemporary French artists. During this period, Boldini also made important connections with art collectors and patrons who recognized his talent and helped to promote his work. Florence provided Boldini with the opportunity to refine his skills as a portraitist, and his reputation began to grow. Boldini's growing success in Florence eventually led him to seek out new opportunities in Paris, the epicenter of the art world. In the early 1870s, Boldini moved to the French capital, where he would spend the majority of his career. Paris in the late 19th century was a city of unparalleled cultural and artistic dynamism, and it was here that Boldini's style fully matured. The city was home to a thriving community of artists, writers, and intellectuals, and Boldini quickly became a part of this milieu. He established himself as a portrait painter, specializing in depictions of the wealthy, fashionable elite. His portraits were characterized by their dynamic compositions, loose brushwork, and a sense of movement that set them apart from more traditional portraiture of the time. Boldini's subjects were often portrayed in elegant, elongated forms, with a particular emphasis on the fluidity of fabric and the sheen of luxurious materials. His work was imbued with a sense of glamour and sophistication, reflecting the opulence of the Belle Époque. Boldini's style was heavily influenced by the artistic developments of the time. In particular, he was drawn to the work of the French impressionists, who were revolutionizing the art world with their focus on light, color, and modern life. Although Boldini's work remained more rooted in traditional portraiture than the Impressionists, he adopted many of their techniques, particularly in his use of color and brushwork. His ability to combine traditional and modern elements made his work highly appealing to contemporary audiences. He was also influenced by the works of artists like John Singer Sargent, who shared Boldini's interest in portraiture and his ability to capture the character of his subjects with an economy of means. Boldini's portraits were not merely static depictions of his sitters. They were imbued with a sense of life and vitality, as though the figures could step out of the canvas at any moment. Despite the traditional aspects of his work, Boldini was also a master of innovation. His brushwork was particularly distinctive, characterized by its speed and fluidity. He often used long, sweeping strokes that gave his portraits a sense of dynamism and movement, as though the figures were captured in motion. This technique allowed him to convey not just the physical appearance of his subjects, but also their personalities, their vivacity, and the social atmosphere they inhabited. Boldini was also known for his ability to manipulate light in his paintings, using it to create a sense of drama and to highlight the sumptuous textures of his subjects' clothing and surroundings. This approach to painting made his work highly distinctive and recognizable. Throughout his career, Boldini maintained strong connections with Italy, despite spending much of his life abroad. He continued to exhibit in his home country and was an active participant in the Italian art scene. Boldini's reputation in Italy was cemented by his election to the Accademia di San Luca in Rome, one of the country's most prestigious artistic institutions. His Italian heritage remained an important part of his identity as an artist, and he often returned to Italy for extended periods throughout his life. However, it was in Paris that Boldini found his greatest success and established his legacy as one of the foremost portrait painters of his time. As his reputation grew, Boldini's circle of clients expanded to include some of the most important figures of the Belle Époque, including aristocrats, politicians, artists, and celebrities. His portraits became a symbol of social status, and sitting for Boldini was a mark of prestige. The artist's ability to flatter his subjects while still capturing their unique personalities made him a favorite among the upper echelons of society. Boldini's portraits were not merely likenesses. They were statements of power, wealth, and sophistication. His depictions of the wealthy elite were marked by a sense of theatricality, with his sitters often posed in dramatic, elegant gestures that emphasized their status and refinement. One of the key reasons for Boldini's success was his ability to adapt to the changing tastes of the time. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, art was undergoing a period of profound transformation. While many of his contemporaries struggled to remain relevant in this new artistic landscape, Boldini continued to thrive. His portraits, with their modern sensibility and technical mastery, appealed to a wide audience, and he remained in demand throughout his career. Boldini was able to strike a balance between tradition and innovation, creating work that was rooted in the classical tradition of portraiture while also engaging with the new developments in art and society. Despite his fame and success, Boldini remained a private and somewhat enigmatic figure. He was known for his perfectionism and his exacting standards, often reworking his paintings until he was completely satisfied with the result. Boldini's attention to detail extended beyond his art and into his personal life. He was known for his refined taste and his love of luxury, which was reflected in both his paintings and his lifestyle. Boldini was a fixture of Parisian society, moving in the same circles as his wealthy and fashionable sitters. Yet, despite his outward charm and sociability, he remained a deeply introspective artist, continually seeking to push the boundaries of his craft. In addition to his work as a portraitist, Boldini was also an accomplished painter of genre scenes and cityscapes. His depictions of Paris, in particular, reflect his love for the city and its vibrant energy. These works, while less well known than his portraits, demonstrate Boldini's versatility as an artist and his ability to capture the spirit of modern life. His cityscapes, like his portraits, are characterized by their dynamic compositions and lively brushwork. They provide a glimpse into the world of Belle Époque Paris, a city at the height of its cultural and artistic power. As Boldini's career progressed, he continued to experiment with his technique and style. His later works show an increasing interest in abstraction and the manipulation of form, with his figures becoming even more elongated and their movements more exaggerated. These late works reflect Boldini's desire to continue evolving as an artist, even as he approached the end of his career. While his portraits remained grounded in the realist tradition, they also pushed the boundaries of what portraiture could be, incorporating elements of modernism and abstraction. Boldini's contributions to the art world were widely recognized during his lifetime. He exhibited regularly at the Paris Salon, one of the most important exhibitions of the time, and his work was featured in numerous international exhibitions. He was awarded several honors for his contributions to art, including the Legion of Honor in France, one of the highest distinctions an artist could receive. Boldini's work was also highly sought after by collectors, and his portraits were acquired by some of the most prestigious museums and galleries in Europe and America. Despite his success, Boldini's reputation suffered a decline in the years following his death. The rise of modernism and the increasing dominance of abstract art led to a shift in taste, and Boldini's work, with its emphasis on elegance and beauty, came to be seen as old-fashioned by some critics. However, in recent decades, there has been a renewed interest in Boldini's work, with scholars and collectors recognizing the technical brilliance and artistic innovation that characterized his portraits. Today, Boldini is celebrated as one of the great portraitists of his time, and his work is once again appreciated for its ability to capture the spirit of an era. Boldini passed away in Paris on January 11, 1931, leaving behind a rich legacy of work that continues to inspire and captivate audiences today. His portraits remain a testament to his unparalleled ability to capture the beauty and vitality of his subjects, and his work continues to be exhibited in major museums and galleries around the world. Boldini's influence can be seen in the work of later portraitists, who have drawn inspiration from his dynamic compositions, expressive brushwork, and his ability to convey the essence of his subjects with both precision and flair. Giovanni Boldini's life and career are a reflection of the larger cultural and artistic changes that took place during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His work bridges the gap between tradition and modernity, combining the technical mastery of the old masters with the bold, experimental spirit of the modern era. Boldini's portraits, with their sense of movement, elegance, and sophistication, continue to be celebrated for their ability to capture the essence of the Belle Époque, an era that remains synonymous with beauty, luxury, and artistic innovation.